Tonight, we gently explore the quiet world of memory. Your mind is a soft library, storing moments, emotions, and dreams. Take a deep breath, relax, and let these gentle facts guide you into rest. Close your eyes if you'd like. Get comfortable. There's nothing you need to do right now except listen and drift. We're going to wander through the calm landscape of your brain, discovering how it holds on to the pieces of your life, the fragments of yesterday, and the whispers of long ago. Memory is one of the most beautiful mysteries we carry within us. It's always working, always weaving, always there in the background like a quiet friend. And tonight, we'll learn about it together, slowly, softly, with no rush at all. Let's begin with something simple, something peaceful. Memory is how your brain stores experiences. It's the way a moment becomes permanent, tucked away somewhere inside you. When you smell fresh bread and suddenly remember your grandmother's kitchen, that's memory. When you hear a song and feel transported to a summer years ago, that's memory too. Your brain is always collecting these pieces. Every sight, every sound, every feeling gets sorted and saved in ways you don't even notice. You don't have to try. It just happens, quietly, like breathing. Memory shapes who you are. It tells you your name. It reminds you of people you love. It holds your favorite stories and your oldest fears. Without it, you'd be adrift, untethered from your own life. But with it, you carry an entire world inside your head. And here's something calming to consider. Your brain never stops working with memory, even when you sleep. Right now, as you rest, your mind is busy organizing the day, filing away what matters, letting go of what doesn't. It's like a librarian working through the night, putting books back on shelves, making sure everything is where it belongs. Scientists estimate that the human brain can store around 2.5 petabytes of memory. That's an enormous amount. To put it gently into perspective, if your brain were a digital video recorder, it could hold about 3 million hours of television shows. Imagine that. 3 million hours of moments, faces, words, songs, tastes, and touches, all stored in the soft folds of your mind. But memory isn't just about storage. It's about retrieval too. It's about finding the right file in that vast library when you need it. Sometimes the brain does this instantly. You see a face and know the name. Other times it takes longer. The information is there, somewhere in the stacks, but the path to it has grown dim. Your memories are not separate from you. They are you. They're woven into every decision you make, every preference you hold, every reaction you have. When you feel safe, it's partly because memory tells you this situation is familiar. When you feel uneasy, memory is whispering warnings based on the past. And all of this happens without effort. Your brain does this work in the background while you focus on living. It's always there, quietly supporting you, holding your story together. So, as we move forward tonight, remember that we're not just talking about some abstract scientific concept. We're talking about the very foundation of your inner life. We're talking about how yesterday becomes part of today, and how today will become part of tomorrow. Let that thought settle over you like a warm blanket. You are made of memories, and your brain is taking care of them, even now, even as you rest. Memory isn't just one thing. It comes in different forms, each with its own purpose, its own quiet role to play in your life. Let's explore these gently, one at a time. Short-term memory is like holding a cup in your hands. You feel it, you're aware of it, but if you set it down and walk away, the warmth fades. This is the memory that holds information briefly, just long enough for you to use it in the moment. When someone tells you a phone number and you repeat it in your head until you can write it down, that's short-term memory at work. It's temporary, fleeting like clouds passing across the sky. The brain keeps this information active for maybe 20 to 30 seconds, sometimes a bit longer if you focus on it. Short-term memory has limits. It can only hold so much at once, usually around 7 pieces of information, give or take. That's why phone numbers were traditionally 7 digits. It's about what the mind can comfortably juggle without dropping something. But there's no need to hold on to everything. Short-term memory is designed to let things go. It clears space, makes room for what's next. It's not meant to be permanent, just helpful in the now. Long-term memory is different. This is the quiet library inside your mind. It's where experiences go to stay. Some memories live here for years, decades, a lifetime. This is where you keep your childhood, your first day of school, your favorite vacation, the faces of people you love. Long-term memory has remarkable capacity. Unlike short-term memory, with its brief, limited hold, long-term memory can store seemingly endless amounts of information, and it does so without you noticing. You don't feel full. You don't run out of space. This type of memory forms when the brain decides something is important enough to keep. Sometimes that decision is conscious. You study for a test, repeating facts until they stick. Other times it's automatic. A moment strikes you emotionally, and without trying, it gets filed away forever. Long-term memories can be explicit, like remembering your 10th birthday party, or they can be implicit, like knowing how to ride a bike. Both live in this deep storage, ready to surface when needed. Sensory memory is perhaps the most fleeting of all. It captures the world through your senses for just a blink. Sounds, touches, scents, sights, tastes, all recorded for less than a second, sometimes just a fraction of one. When you glance at something and look away, the image lingers briefly in your mind. That after-image, that echo, is sensory memory. Your brain takes in far more information than you consciously process, and sensory memory is the first filter, the first momentary impression before deciding what deserves attention. Most of this fades instantly, like ripples disappearing on water. You'll never remember most of what your senses encounter, but occasionally, something catches. A smell triggers recognition. A sound makes you turn your head. And in that moment, sensory memory has done its job, alerting you to something worth noticing. Procedural memory is the memory that lets you walk without thinking. It's the knowledge stored in your muscles, in your reflexes, in the automatic parts of your brain. When you tie your shoes, you don't have to recall each step consciously. Your hands just know. When you ride a bike, you balance without analyzing the physics. When you type on a keyboard, your fingers find the letters without you telling them exactly where to go. This type of memory develops through repetition and practice. The brain creates pathways, shortcuts, patterns that become so ingrained they feel like instinct. And once learned, procedural memories are incredibly durable. You might not ride a bike for 20 years, but when you try again, your body remembers. These different types of memory work together, blending and supporting each other throughout your day. Short-term holds what you need right now. Long-term keeps your history. Sensory memory filters the world. Procedural memory handles the routines. And all of this happens quietly, seamlessly, without you having to manage it. Your brain orchestrates this complex dance while you simply live your life, thinking your thoughts, feeling your feelings, moving through the world. Let that sink in. You don't have to do anything. Your memory systems are already at work, already taking care of you, already preserving what matters and letting go of what doesn't. Breathe slowly. Feel grateful for this incredible process happening inside you right now, even as you rest and listen. Now we'll move into the heart of our journey together. These are gentle facts about memory, each one a small window into how your mind works. There's no test, no need to remember them all. Just let them wash over you like waves on a shore, soft and rhythmic and calming. You never truly forget anything. The information is still there somewhere in the neural networks of your brain. What you lose is the path to retrieve it. The memory exists, but the route to find it has grown faint, overgrown, harder to travel. Smell is the most powerful memory trigger. The olfactory bulb, which processes scent, connects directly to the hippocampus and amygdala, regions deeply involved in memory and emotion. That's why a particular fragrance can transport you instantly to another time. Your earliest memory is usually from around age 2 to 4. Before that, your brain wasn't developed enough to form lasting, explicit memories. This phenomenon is called childhood amnesia, and it's completely normal. During sleep, your brain replays memories to strengthen them. It's called memory consolidation. As you dream and rest, your mind reviews what happened during the day, deciding what to keep, what to discard, and where to file everything. Memories change slightly every time you recall them. Each time you remember something, your brain reconstructs it, and in that reconstruction, small details can shift. Your memories are less like photographs and more like stories told and retold. Your brain can hold about 7 items in short-term memory on average. Some people can hold a bit more, some a bit less. This number, 7 plus or minus 2, has been consistent in studies for decades. Walking through a doorway can make you forget why you entered a room. It's called the doorway effect. Your brain uses locations to organize memories, and crossing a threshold can trigger a subtle reset. Stress hormones can enhance memory formation. That's why emotionally intense experiences tend to stick with you more vividly. Your brain tags them as important because of the emotional arousal. You forget about 50% of new information within an hour. It's called the forgetting curve. Without rehearsal or meaning attached, most details slip away quickly. Sleep deprivation significantly impairs memory. When you don't get enough rest, your brain struggles to form new memories and retrieve existing ones. Sleep is essential for cognitive function. Your brain prioritizes emotional memories. Experiences tied to strong feelings, whether joy or fear or sadness, are more likely to be remembered than neutral events. Memories formed during adolescence tend to be especially vivid. This period, called the reminiscence bump, means you're more likely to remember events from your teenage years and early 20s than from other times in your life. The act of writing something down helps you remember it even if you never look at your notes again. The process itself engages your brain more deeply than just thinking. Your memory works better when you're in the same environment where you learned something. Context matters. That's why students sometimes perform better on tests in the same room where they studied. Forgetting is actually helpful. It allows your brain to clear out unnecessary information and focus on what's relevant. Without forgetting, your mind would be cluttered with trivial details. Memories are not stored in one single location. They're distributed across different regions of the brain, connected through networks. A single memory might involve visual areas, emotional centers, and language regions all working together. The hippocampus plays a crucial role in forming new memories. Damage to the seahorse-shaped structure can prevent the creation of new long-term memories while leaving old ones intact. Music can improve memory recall. Songs you associate with specific times in your life can trigger detailed memories of those periods. Chewing gum has been shown to slightly improve memory performance in some studies. The increased blood flow to the brain might play a role. Your brain creates false memories more easily than you might think. Suggestion, imagination, and context can all lead you to remember things that never happened. Déjà vu might be a memory glitch. Your brain might be processing current experience through pathways normally used for recalling past events, creating that eerie sense of familiarity. Exercise improves memory.
Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain and promotes the growth of new neurons, particularly in the hippocampus. Your working memory, the mental workspace you use for complex tasks, has very limited capacity. It can hold and manipulate only a few pieces of information at once. The more you retrieve a memory, the stronger it becomes. Practice and repetition create more robust neural pathways. Memories tied to multiple senses are easier to recall. The more ways you encode information, the more retrieval routes you create. Chronic stress damages memory. Prolonged exposure to stress hormones can actually shrink the hippocampus over time. Learning something new is easier when you can connect it to what you already know. Your brain naturally seeks patterns and associations. The generation effect means you remember information better when you actively produce it rather than passively reading it. Creating your own examples or explanations strengthens memory. Naps can improve memory consolidation. Even a short 20-minute rest can help your brain process and store new information. Your brain continues to form new neurons throughout your life, a process called neurogenesis. This happens especially in the hippocampus, supporting new memory formation. Testing yourself is more effective for memory than simply rereading material. Retrieval practice strengthens the pathways to information. Memories fade at different rates. Some details disappear quickly, while the general gist remains much longer. You might forget specifics, but remember the essence. The spacing effect shows that distributed practice over time is more effective than cramming. Your brain consolidates information better with intervals between study sessions. Your autobiographical memory, the story of your own life, is selective. You naturally emphasize certain events and minimize others, creating a narrative that makes sense to you. The primacy effect means you tend to remember items at the beginning of a list better than those in the middle. The recency effect means you also remember items at the end of a list better than those in the middle. Emotional arousal at the time of learning creates stronger memories. The amygdala, your emotional center, flags these experiences as significant. Shallow processing creates weak memories. Simply reading words without engaging with their meaning results in poor retention. Deep processing, where you think about meaning and connections, creates much stronger memories. Visual imagery enhances memory. Creating mental pictures of information helps encode it more richly. The method of loci, or memory palace technique, has been used since ancient times. It involves associating information with specific locations in an imagined space. Your brain naturally chunks information into meaningful groups, making it easier to remember. A phone number isn't 10 random digits, it's 3 chunks. Interference occurs when similar memories compete, making both harder to recall. Studying similar subjects back to back can create confusion. Proactive interference is when old memories interfere with new learning. Your established knowledge sometimes gets in the way of absorbing new information. Retroactive interference is when new learning interferes with old memories. New information can sometimes overwrite or compete with what you already knew. Sleep protects memories from interference. When you rest, you don't encounter new information competing for storage space. The testing effect shows that retrieving information makes it more memorable than simply rereading it again. Retrieval practice strengthens the pathways to information. Schemas are mental frameworks that help you organize knowledge. You have schemas for restaurants, for airports, for birthday parties, helping you know what to expect.
And remember relevant details. Flashbulb memories are vivid recollections of significant events. People often remember exactly where they were during major historical moments, though these memories aren't as accurate as they feel. Your earliest memories are more fragmented than later ones. Young children form impressions, but lack the narrative structure adults use to create cohesive stories. Procedural memories become more automatic with practice. The first time you learned to drive required intense concentration. Now it feels effortless. Recognition is easier than recall. You might not remember someone's name,
but when you hear it, you instantly know it's correct. Context reinstatement helps memory. Returning to the same mental or physical state you were in when you learned something improves retrieval. Your mood affects what you remember. When you're happy, you more easily recall happy memories. When you're sad, sad memories surface more readily. State-dependent memory means you recall information better when you're in the same physiological state as when you learned it. The misinformation effect shows how easily memories can be altered by exposure to incorrect information after an event. Your brain fills in gaps in memory with plausible details, creating a complete narrative even when pieces are missing. Collective memory is how groups remember shared experiences. Families, communities, and cultures all maintain memories together. Social influences shape personal memory. Talking about events with others can strengthen, alter, or even create memories. Children's memories are more susceptible to suggestion than adults. Their recollections can be more easily influenced by leading questions. The tip of the tongue phenomenon occurs when you know something but can't quite access it. The memory's there, but temporarily out of reach. Blocking happens when one memory prevents access to another. The wrong name keeps coming to mind, blocking the correct one. Transience is the gradual fading of memories over time. Details blur, specifics vanish, leaving only impressions. Absent-mindedness occurs when attention lapses during encoding. You weren't really paying attention, so the memory never formed properly. Your brain prioritizes survival-relevant information. Threats, opportunities, and emotionally significant events get preferential treatment in memory. Semantic memory holds general knowledge and facts. You know that Paris is in France without remembering when you learned it. Episodic memory stores personal experiences. You remember your trip to Paris, not just that Paris exists. Prospective memory is remembering to do something in the future. It's why you set reminders, because remembering to remember is challenging. The 7 sins of memory identified by psychologist Daniel Schachter include transience, absent-mindedness, blocking, misattribution, suggestibility, bias, and persistence. Misattribution is assigning a memory to the wrong source. You remember the information, but forget where you heard it. Bias shapes memory according to current knowledge and beliefs. You remember the past in ways that support your present perspective. Persistence is when unwanted memories intrude. Traumatic experiences can replay involuntarily, a symptom often seen in PTSD. Your working memory acts like a mental scratch pad. It holds information temporarily while you manipulate it to solve problems or understand concepts. The phonological loop is part of working memory. It rehearses verbal and auditory information, like when you repeat a phone number silently. The visual spatial sketchpad handles visual and spatial information in working memory. It's what you use when visualizing directions or imagining how furniture fits in a room. Elaborative rehearsal, where you think about meaning and make connections, creates much stronger memories than simple repetition. Your memory performance varies throughout the day based on circadian rhythms. Most people have better recall during certain hours. Hydration affects memory. Even mild dehydration can impair cognitive function and recall. Diet influences memory. Certain nutrients support brain health and memory formation, while poor nutrition can impair it. Meditation has been shown to improve working memory capacity. Regular practice appears to enhance attention and reduce interference. Bilingual individuals may have slight advantages in certain memory tasks, possibly due to enhanced cognitive control from managing 2 languages. Your brain sometimes creates source amnesia, where you remember information but not where you came from. This is why we sometimes share stories as if they're personal when we actually read them somewhere else. The reminiscence bump isn't just about vivid memories. It's also when many people's preferences in music, movies, and books solidify. Implicit memories influence behavior without conscious awareness. You might avoid certain foods without remembering the stomachache they once caused. Explicit memories are conscious recollections. You deliberately remember your last vacation or what you ate for breakfast. Priming affects memory and behavior subtly. Exposure to certain words or concepts makes related ideas more accessible. Consolidation transfers memories from temporary to permanent storage. This process takes time and involves physical changes in the brain. Reconsolidation occurs when you recall a memory. It becomes temporarily malleable again before being stored once more, potentially altered. Long-term potentiation is the strengthening of synapses based on recent activity. It's a key mechanism underlying learning and memory. Your brain uses both synaptic consolidation, which happens quickly, and systems consolidation, which unfolds over weeks or months. Memory traces, called engrams, are the physical substrate of memories. They're the specific patterns of neural connections representing what you've learned. The cerebellum contributes to procedural memory and motor learning. It helps you remember how to perform skilled movements. The prefrontal cortex is crucial for working memory and retrieving information from long-term storage. The amygdala enhances memory for emotional events. It essentially tells the hippocampus that something is important enough to remember clearly. Sleep stages play different roles in memory. Deep sleep helps consolidate factual information, while REM sleep processes emotional memories and skills. Dreams may help integrate new experiences with existing knowledge, though the exact function remains debated. Memory is not fixed. It's dynamic, constantly being updated, reshaped, and refined based on new experiences and information. Your identity depends on memory. Who you are is largely composed of what you remember about yourself. Shared memories strengthen social bonds. Recalling experiences together helps people feel connected. Cultural memory passes knowledge across generations. Stories, traditions, and histories are remembered and transmitted socially. Your brain automatically categorizes and organizes memories. Similar experiences get grouped together, making patterns easier to recognize. Mnemonic devices work by creating memorable associations. Acronyms, rhymes, and stories all leverage existing memory strengths. Imagery is one of the most powerful memory tools. The more vivid and unusual the mental image, the more memorable it becomes. Emotion and memory are deeply intertwined. Your feelings color your recollections, and memories in turn influence your emotions. As you rest here, as you listen and drift, your brain is already beginning the beautiful process of memory consolidation. Sleep is when your mind does some of its most important memory work, quietly organizing everything you experienced while awake. Imagine your brain as a busy office during the day, information coming in constantly, files piling up, everything urgent and immediate. And then imagine what happens when the office closes, when the doors lock, when the lights dim. That's when the real organization begins. During sleep, your brain doesn't just rest, it reviews. It replays experiences from your day, sometimes in their original order, sometimes mixed and rearranged. These replays happen at high speed, much faster than real life, as if your brain is quickly sorting through footage, deciding what to keep and what to discard. This happens especially in deep sleep, the stage where your body is most still, your breathing most even, your consciousness furthest from waking. In these quiet hours, the hippocampus, that small structure so crucial for memory, communicates with other brain regions. It sends memories outward, distributing them to more permanent storage areas in the cortex.
It's like moving files from a temporary desk to a long-term filing cabinet. What was fresh and fragile becomes stable and lasting. What happened today becomes part of your history. Dreams mix memories with imagination. When you dream, your brain isn't bound by logic or sequence. It combines recent experiences with old memories, creates impossible scenarios, links unrelated ideas. Sometimes these combinations are meaningful, sometimes they're simply the brain exploring possibilities. But even in their strangeness, dreams serve memory. They help you process emotional experiences, integrate new knowledge with what you already know, and sometimes solve problems you couldn't crack while awake. People throughout history have reported insights arriving in dreams, connections suddenly clear after sleeping on a question. Your brain also uses sleep to clean itself, quite literally. During deep sleep, the glymphatic system becomes active. This is a waste clearance system unique to the brain, and it works best when you're unconscious. Throughout the day, as your neurons fire and process information, they produce waste products. One of these is beta amyloid, a protein that, if it accumulates, can interfere with brain function. During sleep, cerebrospinal fluid flows through the brain, flushing out these toxins. It's like a cleaning crew coming through after everyone has left, sweeping up, emptying the trash, preparing the space for another day. Without adequate sleep, this cleaning doesn't happen properly. Waste builds up, memory and thinking become impaired. Sleep improves learning in measurable ways. Students who sleep after studying remember information better than those who stay awake. Athletes who get adequate rest consolidate motor skills more effectively. Even creative problem-solving benefits from a good night's rest. There's a reason people say sleep on it when facing a difficult decision. Your unconscious mind continues working on problems while you rest, sometimes arriving at solutions that eluded your waking efforts. Different types of memories benefit from different sleep stages. Factual information, the kind you study for a test, consolidates during slow-wave sleep, the deepest stage. Motor skills and procedures improve during stage 2 sleep, a lighter phase where sleep spindles occur, brief bursts of brain activity that seem to help transfer learning. Emotional memories and complex integrations appear to benefit from REM sleep, the stage where most vivid dreaming occurs. During REM, your brain is almost as active as when you're awake, but your body is paralyzed, preventing you from acting out dreams. The relationship between memory and sleep is reciprocal. Good sleep improves memory, and strong memories can influence sleep. Sometimes you dream about what you're learning, your mind working through new material in the safe space of unconsciousness. If you've ever learned something just before bed and found it clearer in the morning, you've experienced this firsthand. The knowledge felt shaky at night, but by morning it had solidified, integrated, become more accessible. This is why cramming all night before a test is counterproductive. You might absorb information in the short term, but without sleep to consolidate it, much will vanish by exam time. Your brain needs rest to cement learning. As you listen now, drifting in and out of sleep, know that your mind is taking care of everything. It's sorting today's experiences, filing away what matters, letting go of what doesn't. It's strengthening important memories, allowing trivial details to fade. It's cleaning away the day's mental clutter, preparing for tomorrow. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to try. Your brain knows exactly what to do while you rest. It's been doing this every night of your life, quietly supporting you, maintaining the vast library of your experience. So let go.
Let sleep come naturally. Let your memories settle into place like leaves falling softly to the ground. Your brain will take care of the rest. There are aspects of memory that remain beautifully mysterious, questions we still can't fully answer, phenomena that remind us how much wonder exists in the everyday workings of our minds. Why do some memories suddenly appear unbidden decades after the original experience? You'll be washing dishes or walking down the street, and suddenly you're 7 years old again, sitting in your grandmother's kitchen, the sunlight coming through the window in just that particular way. You haven't thought about it in years, but now it's vividly present, complete with sensations and emotions you'd forgotten you could feel. These spontaneous memories are called involuntary autobiographical memories. They arrive without effort, triggered by something in your current environment that resonates with the past. A smell, a sound, a quality of light, the angle of a shadow. Some tiny detail bridges across time, and suddenly you're there and here simultaneously. Scientists don't fully understand why certain memories surface this way while others remain dormant. The triggers aren't always obvious. Sometimes you can identify what prompted the recollection, but often the connection is subtle, mysterious, operating beneath conscious awareness. These moments feel like gifts, like your past reaching out to touch your present. They remind you that all your experiences are still part of you, still alive somewhere in the neural networks of your brain, waiting for the right cue to emerge. Why do we forget most dreams? You wake up with fragments, images, feelings, but within minutes, they've evaporated like morning mist. Sometimes you can recall a dream vividly for hours, but more often, it's gone almost immediately. One theory is that dreams occur in a neurochemical environment that doesn't favor memory formation. During REM sleep, when most vivid dreaming happens, certain neurotransmitters are suppressed, the same ones important for transferring short-term memories to long-term storage. Another possibility is that forgetting dreams serves a purpose. Dreams mix reality with imagination, past with present, possible with impossible. If we remembered them all clearly, we might confuse dream memories with real ones. Forgetting dreams might be a protective mechanism, helping us maintain a clear distinction between what actually happened and what we only imagined. Still, some dreams do stay with you. The especially vivid ones, the emotional ones, the ones that seem to mean something, these sometimes persist. You can recall them months or even years later. What makes these different? Why do they bypass the usual forgetting? Perhaps they resonate with something in your waking life. Perhaps the emotional intensity creates stronger memory traces. Perhaps they occur during moments when your brain chemistry briefly shifts, allowing better encoding. The mystery remains. Why are scent memories so emotional? Smell is unique among your senses in how it connects to memory and feeling. The olfactory bulb links directly to the hippocampus and the amygdala without passing through the thalamus, the relay station most other sensory information must cross. This direct connection means smells can trigger memories and emotions with remarkable speed and intensity. A whiff of perfume brings back someone you haven't seen in years, the smell of chlorine, and suddenly you're at the pool where you learned to swim. Fresh-cut grass transports you to childhood summers. These scent memories often feel more vivid and emotional than memories triggered by other senses. They arrive with a particular quality, a nostalgic richness that can be almost overwhelming. You don't just remember, you're momentarily transported, feeling echoes of how you felt then. Scientists call this the Proustian phenomenon, named after Marcel Proust's famous passage where a Madeleine dipped in tea unleashes a flood of childhood memories. Proust described it as involuntary memory, powerful and complete, arriving unbidden through the sense of taste and smell. Why do people remember the same event differently? Siblings who grew up in the same house often have vastly different memories of their childhood. Friends who experienced an event together recall different details, different sequences, different meanings. This isn't about someone being right and someone being wrong. It's about how memory is inherently subjective. What you notice, what you consider important, what emotions you feel, all of these influence what gets encoded and how it gets stored. Your personal perspective, your mental state at the time, your previous experiences, your current beliefs, all of these shape memory. You're not recording objective reality like a camera. You're interpreting, filtering, creating meaning as you go.
You're pulling together pieces, filling in gaps, creating a coherent narrative. Two people doing this process independently will naturally create different versions of the same event. Neither version is necessarily more accurate. Both are genuine memories, shaped by that individual's unique perspective and experience. This is part of what makes memory so deeply human. It's not just information storage, it's meaning-making, identity-building, storytelling. Why do certain memories persist when you want to forget them? Why can you remember an embarrassing moment from years ago with painful clarity, but forget where you put your keys this morning? Why do some experiences haunt us, while others slip away easily? Emotional intensity plays a role. The brain tags emotionally charged experiences as significant, creating stronger memory traces. But that doesn't explain why we sometimes remember things we'd rather forget, and forget things we're trying to remember. Some researchers suggest that trying to suppress a memory can actually strengthen it. The very act of thinking, "Don't remember this," requires bringing the memory to mind, which reactivates and potentially strengthens the neural pathways. There's also a phenomenon where negative experiences naturally stick more than positive ones. This is thought to be an evolutionary adaptation. Remembering dangers helped our ancestors survive. Remembering pleasures was nice, but less critical. The persistence of unwanted memories can be distressing, but it also reveals something about how deeply our experiences shape us. We carry our past, the difficult parts and the joyful ones, the parts we cherish and the parts we wish we could release. These mysteries remind us that memory isn't fully understood, isn't completely controllable, isn't merely a tool we use, but rather an integral part of who we are. It operates according to principles we're still discovering, surprising us, moving us, connecting us to our past in ways both expected and startling. As you rest now, as you drift toward deeper sleep, let these mysteries surround you like a soft fog. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to solve these puzzles. They're simply part of the beautiful, complex reality of being human, of having a mind that remembers, forgets, dreams, and occasionally surprises itself. Your memories are yours, unique to you, shaped by your journey through the world. They're not perfect recordings, but they don't need to be. There's something more interesting than that. They're the story you've written with your life, the narrative that makes sense of your experiences, the foundation of your identity. And as you sleep, that story continues being written, edited, refined. Your brain works through the night, tending to memories, strengthening connections, letting go of what no longer serves you. It's all happening automatically, perfectly, exactly as it should be. So rest easy. Let go of any remaining tension. Your mind is taking care of everything. Tomorrow, you'll wake with your memories refreshed, reorganized, ready to support another day of experiences that themselves will become memories. The cycle continues, gentle and eternal, as long as you live. Experience becomes memory. Memory shapes experience. And through it all, you remain yourself, connected to your past, present in your now, dreaming toward your future. Let sleep come. Let memory do its quiet work. Let yourself drift into rest, knowing you're exactly where you need to be, that everything is as it should be, that you are safe, you are whole, you are held by the infinite capacity of your own remarkable mind. If you enjoyed learning about memory tonight, if this helped you relax or drift peacefully towards sleep, consider leaving a like. It helps others find these gentle science journeys too. And subscribe to You Don't Know the Story for more calming explorations into the mysteries of the mind and the wonders of being human. Sleep well, rest deeply, and may your dreams be peaceful and kind.